I really love to experiment. I love trying new things. I love testing the waters in new areas and just trying out new shoes to see if they fit. Shoes being a metaphor here. It's kind of in my nature. I never really lost that childhood curiosity of, what is this? How can I understand it better? And how can I find ways of integrating it into my life? It's been omnipresent in my life from the earliest ages and from my earliest memories. It doesn't mean that I am particularly adventurous. So I think sometimes people kind of conflate this idea that you can be enjoy trying new things and be super adventurous. I am definitely not adventurous. I like trying new things in the sense that I like trying to understand new things. Not that I am like the first one in line to try the latest kind of whatever challenge. It's more about seeing things from a new perspective, trying to understand things and really testing those waters in a sense of like scientific inquiry. Now, one of the areas that I was experimenting in as I grew up was music. And so I got my first guitar as a Christmas present. My brother and I got it as a shared Christmas present when I was 16 years old. And it was fun to try to learn an instrument. This was the first instrument I'd ever learned. I was never in band or anything like that in high school or middle school. It was just something that I can pick up and noodle around on. And I remember when I was learning guitar, I really hated trying to learn songs. I always got easily frustrated trying to look at sheet music or trying to look at the chord chart and play exactly what was written for me to play. It just didn't bring me any joy. Even when I was reasonably decent at it, I didn't enjoy it. It was just okay, I did it and it was kind of interesting and there were moments, but it was never really something that I was good at or that I could feel good doing. And I really hated practicing. So a few years went by and I studied music in my undergraduate and it was really the same thing all over again. I hated practicing. And I practiced a lot. I mean, you have to in music school. You have to practice every day for hours. And I really did not enjoy it. And then the things they teach you in music school for how you should practice and playing things over and over and over again, it wasn't even that it was boring. Like, that was certainly an element of it, but it just felt so useless to me. But what I did really love doing was experimenting with new and different instruments. And I loved playing a musical instrument just for the sake of playing it, without any intention to write or to replay a song, without any direction or anything like that. It was purely making sounds with that instrument and seeing what kind of sounds work together, what kind of sounds are really dissonant, and then as I was taking and like translating that ability across a number of different instruments, it became a lot of fun for me. It was really enjoyable to be able to take a really basic thing like a scale, for example, be able to play it on instrument A and then be able to do it on instrument B and then start experimenting with that scale and seeing how that instrument how you can tweak and work within that instrument's limitations or opportunities to make that scale a little bit different than instrument A. I don't know. This is a lot of stuff to say that I really took a lot of joy in just noodling around on whatever instrument I happen to be playing, and without any kind of clear direction. So I would sit down at a piano and I would just play sounds, not randomly so much, but like with a little bit of intention behind it, with a little bit of intention of understanding like the basic structure of music theory, and then just allowing myself to kind of breathe and feel through those key changes and those different patterns of melody and harmony. All of that was joyful for me. And even learning music theory, we had to do a lot of short compositions, and I really, really loved not writing music by the rules, but taking the rules and then improvising on those rules and kind of finding ways of challenging those rules with the way we hear the music. And some of it is god awful. I mean, some of it's absolutely horrible. Some of it I want to say is reasonably decent. But I just loved that aspect of improvising, both in a performance sense and improvising in kind of a compositional sense. So improvising on the rules and structures that music theory has given us. Now, that's all I do when it comes to playing music. I still play music. I don't play it professionally and I don't perform at all. But when I do play music, whether that's my guitar or my piano or whether it's just singing, I only improvise. I very rarely sit down and try to play a song. I just sit down and kind of use the instrument to kind of express whatever it is that's going on in my head. And that helps a lot in terms of my emotional expression, but it gives me a creative outlet for doing something that is really outside of my day-to-day work. And that I think is really fun and really, really healthy. So I just noodle around. I don't know any songs. And you know what the most frustrating thing is? When somebody finds out that I play a music instrument, they're like, oh, play us a song. And I'm like, I don't know any songs. I'm like, well, I could play you like Mary Had a Little Lamb or Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And when I say I can play those songs, I mean I can play the melody and that's it. So it's not as if it's not as if I'm a music box. I just have the knowledge to be able to play chords and melodies according to the way I'm thinking in that moment. So it's very kind of improvisational in that sense. And I even do a little bit of composition every now and then. I'll sit back down and try to remember all the structure of music theory and see which ways that I can try to take that structure and iterate on it and find new ways of kind of being interesting and weird. It's a lot of fun. Well, I guess the takeaway is this. Improvisation is about creation, and in some ways it's about innovation. It's about taking something that you have as a basic structure and creating something new out of it. And I think learning to improvise, whether that's with a musical instrument or if we can take that word improvisation and apply it to other areas of our life, then we could say that's a good and useful skill to have. It's a really healthy way to enhance your creative abilities and your creative thinking. So if you're ever stuck or you're ever wondering, how can I enhance my creativity? It may not be to just learn a musical instrument to reproduce what other people have played, to just play songs. Enhancing your creative thinking and creative abilities may mean for you to learn enough of a structure around an art to be able to create something that's distinctly personal, that's distinctly you. And that's what improvisation gives us. And I've never tried this with art medium that is like a visual art medium, but now I'm kind of curious. I've never been a visual artist. I've tried a few times doing illustrations and doing like watercolor painting, but I never enjoyed it. So it may be a similar situation with my musical upbringing, that what I need is enough of a theoretical framework about visual art to be able to do whatever it is that I want to do and express myself in whatever way that I want to express myself. So that's the key takeaway. Learning to improvise can really be a healthy way of enhancing your creative thinking and creative abilities. So my call to action today that you listen to this episode, improvise something. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you sit on your desk and just try out doing a drum beat, or maybe you just sing a whole bunch of nonsense syllables or nonsense words like I love doing and I do almost every day of my life. Maybe it's free form writing. So I think that's a thing where you write whatever words are in your head on a piece of paper. That can help you kind of express yourself creatively. Try it out. See if you like it, and enjoy.